Hey, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, especially rising sign, welcome to the month of March 2024. You're going to have a lot of energy shift here, a lot of intensity regarding things to do with your home, your domestic life, real estate and property, but also some really lovely sweet spots regarding the potential for travel opportunities, as well as longer range success in writing or communications projects. Let's get going and talk about what that might look in detail for you this month ahead. But by the way, before we start, if you are new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian, and I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac and the whole sign house system. Also, I love the fixed stars and minor asteroids. We might be talking a bit about Juno today, one of the asteroids for contracts, agreements, and marriages. We also have an eclipse this month, which is very important, coming through the Libra part of your sky. We'll be diving into that. If you're new as well, just give me a try, like, subscribe, and there's a bell for notifications. When you hit that bell, you know when I put out 20 to 40 videos per month. And I also do all of my videos as a live premiere, which means you can join me in the premiere and chat about the astrology with me in the chat box. Only promotion I have to share, only like business news, is my Sky Reader class is starting in April. It's 6 weeks of classes, 7 weeks in total. We have a break between 2-3 week segments. If you want to learn astrology to time your best life, please consider joining. There's a wait list in the description box below. Just get on that list for early access when the shopping cart opens, probably mid to the third week of March. And in the meantime, let's talk next. Oh, and by the way, it's live classes, live Q&As, a Facebook group for private for our group of students. So it is real interactive, real connected astrology with me teaching you, and replays if you cannot connect to the live class. All right, so let's go Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and especially most accurate rising. Listen today for your Sun if you want to think about career and purpose, maybe father figures, Moon, home, safety needs, body, and your mother figures. But by listening to your rising sign, you're listening to about everything that has to do with you. So let's go Cap. Let's say the beginning of the story for me, the highlight by far is the eclipse. I'm going to start right with the eclipse before we talk about anything else. There is an eclipse in your 10th house of career and reputation. This eclipse is the second eclipse in the Libra South Node eclipse series. This is happening, as I said, March the 25th at 5 degrees of the sign of Libra. That means if your Capricorn Sun, Moon, or rising is within the first 10 degrees of Capricorn, it really does have a major impact on your reality. It will likely be a change or completion or ending or fulfillment of some career objective. If you're a student, your objective is to have good grades and graduate. If you're a retired person, to killer golf score it to the top. Whatever you're doing in your life, it's what you consider achievement and success. So in technical terms, this full moon can be very much about a revelation as well. A full moon is kind of like showing you something you need to see, but it can also bring a sort of harvest, fruitful completion, an extension of something that started on the solar eclipse on the 14th of October at 21 degrees of Libra. You might be able to connect the dots to things that were occurring during the month of October 2023, like seeds that were planted for change in career, to the fullness of something now emerging on March the 25th. A month before, so all of March, up to 3 months after, you're probably going to know what this is about. Did you plant a career seed of any kind in October? It could be getting ready to fruit. These kinds of seeds of career, when they come from eclipse cycles, are very destined, very important, and very significant. This is a South Node eclipse, can also be a new direction in career that involves letting go of old ambitions, old success stories, and old agendas. Now, let's move into the other stories. We have changes of sign by both Mercury, by all the three of Mercury, Venus, and Mars during this month, meaning it's a big energetic shift in the sky. The first thing I want to note is that Venus will be moving out of your second house of self-worth, self-value, voice, speech, face, and earnings. Maybe you cleaned up your dietary style. Maybe you moved towards some facial work or something like that, even something to do with your jaw or teeth. It could have been something you focused on, as Venus was moving through your second Aquarius part of your sky from the February 16th timeframe to March 11th. This is a very different version of her yearly journey through your sign of your face and your voice and your earnings, because she was accompanied by Pluto for the first time, as well as Mars, as well as the Sun and Mercury. We called it the Pluto party last February, most intense on the weekend of the 16th to the 19th of February. And things that were happening then where Venus's presence was there could have been about career and earnings connections that when we have the eclipse in March, in your 10th house will be connected to things that she was creating for you during her February 16th to March 11th journey through your second house. Now, she is there until March the 11th. So in the month of March, you still have 11 more days of this benefic planet giving you great outcomes regarding teeth, dental work, food style, facial appearance, your voice, and your vocation and your earnings. As she continues into the next sign, however, on March the 12th, which is Pisces, she becomes exalted and very powerful and very strong here. She's got like Wonder Woman vibes, and she's going to Wonder Woman up your third house of trips, short distance travel, skills-based education and learning, writing projects, the online world, and neighbors and neighborhood. You may become very social in your neighborhood with your neighbors during this window of March the 12th to April the 4th, hanging out, doing things in social settings, enjoying the environment of your neighborhood and neighbors, maybe spending time with a sibling. This is a house of siblings, or communicating with a sibling, maybe even having a wonderful sense that you're going to learn something you love in a class you want to teach or sign up for, or perhaps take a journey or a couple of trips here in the month of March 12th to April 4th that are going to bring you some satisfaction because they are purely enjoyable. But because she's also the Lord of your 10th house of career, some of these trips may be involving things that have to do with career opportunities and travel. One of the other changes we have in the sky is Mars, who was hanging out with Venus in your second house of earnings and money and face. Good time for dental work, for facial procedures that involved lasers and cutting and surgery and dermabrasion and microblading or anything like that. That would have been an okay thing to do back in the time that Mars was in your second house of all of those matters, but also to eliminate foods and dietary habits that no longer serve you. That was happening beginning February 13th and does not complete until March the 22nd. So keep that in mind. In fact, it is between March the 11th and the 22nd, with both Venus and Mars there, that you might have the opportunity for a particularly successful procedure to improve your teeth or the way your face looks, etc. Now, Mars will move on the 22nd of March or the 23rd of March, all time zone dependent, into your third house. This is where Venus is also going to be traveling until April the 4th. So there's a window of time between March the 23rd and April the 4th that you have the cosmic lovers, Venus and Mars, traveling together in your third house. That makes that time of March the 23rd to April the 4th really good for you. March the 23rd to April the 4th. We have Venus and Mars in your travel house for romantic travel getaways. Okay. And the other energy going on here when Mars is in your third house is just a lot of travel. And you may be doing quite a bit of journeying on shorter distance travel or trips between March the 23rd and April 30th in his 6-week stay through this part of your sky. In this case, it's more like 5, but you get the idea. With Mars here, also, you may have conflict with a sibling or difficult circumstances arise with a neighbor, a dispute with a neighbor, conflict with a neighbor. Again, March the 23rd to April the 30th. It's also really good for being passionately engaged and in a really hardworking way in writing projects or online projects. If those are things that you're up to, if you have a website and all of that, you might be really diving into, working on this and getting it like fortified, strengthened, especially when Venus is there as well, beautifying your website, increasing your social media platform exposure, getting a bit of hard work meets abundance coming together here. Mercury is also changing signs this month. Mercury is going to move on out of Pisces, where he was going between, he leaves on March the 9th. So the first 8 days of the month of March, he's still in Pisces. He would have been there for about 3 weeks, so early in February. When Mercury is in Pisces in your third house, he is in debility. So some of that can be a challenge when it comes to communication with people in your local environment or siblings. You might have had some misfires in those communications. But on the other hand, he's also good here for really good, ideas coming to you regarding ways you wish to fortify your online world, your website, your social media platforms. Also, he's very sociable here. Could have had some sociability as he went through your third house with the neighbors in the local neighborhood, the pubs, the restaurants, and people close to home, or communications from siblings and or childhood friends. This is coming to a close, however, and then Mercury leaves that part of your sky. And then on March the 9th, he begins a 2-month journey through your fourth house. This is because of a retrograde. So you're going to see him move there March 9th, not leave until May 16th. And then in April, there's a retrograde. This is going to mean he's spending a lot of time focused on home, property, land, and real estate. Things to do with communication in the home and domestic environment. He's tangoing here with Chiron to heal the wound of belonging. He's going, where do I belong? Where's my true home? He's going to be here as well for so long that when he retrogrades, one of the things that may occur is things from your past to do with your childhood, your mother, your family of origin, childhood stuff comes back from the past to you in the month of April for some reason. Who knows what it will be? We shall see. In the beginning of his journey through your fourth house, March the 9th, through to March the 23rd, he's able to witness Mars, the Lord of the house, in your second house. And therefore, there's a possibility between March the 9th and March the 23rd of a financial opportunity coming to you regarding home, property, land, and real estate, or some opportunity to perhaps travel from home to negotiate some contract for earnings. That's for some of you, that may be true. There's a lot of communication in your fourth house of home over the 2 months he's there. So March 9th to May 16th, expect to do a lot of negotiating, talking, communicating, and shared ideas with some people that you live with at that time. And maybe for some of you, there may be some agreements and contracts to do with mortgages, refinancing, buying and selling a property, especially because after about the 21st of March, you'll have the sun here as well, the Lord of your house of banks and finances and banking and mortgages. So there's a window of time here as around the 21st of March, the sun joins the fray. So Mars is, well, they're all there. I mean, Mars is there March 23rd, the sun is there. Yeah, so we're going to say that there is a possibility between March the 21st and April 21st that you may be dealing with things to do with negotiating contracts around land, home, and property and real estate, as well as maybe rental agreements and properties, because that's what Mercury rules in your chart, is that sixth house of rentals. For a very few of you, there almost also may be negotiations or agreements around purchases of domestic animals, which are, or the homing of domestic animals, which are called your pets. So new pets may come into the story for some Capricorns at this time. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the month blow by blow and go into a deeper dive of what's going on in the sky in chronological order. So stick with me, take some notes. March the 1st and 2nd, Jupiter sextiles the sun, opening up a very lovely, powerful, and positive energy between your third house and your fifth house. Money luck, lucky breaks to do with travel, fortunate circumstances regarding romantic love, or lucky breaks with your children, or an opportunity to plan or take a trip connected to a romantic partner or a child. For example, if you're an entrepreneur, some success in your entrepreneurial and online business exposure. That's very sweet. March 1st and 2nd. Then on March the 3rd, Venus will square Uranus. While she's doing this, she's still moving through your second house of earnings. She squares shocking and unsurprising developments in the house of entrepreneurial and consulting businesses, creative projects, and maybe things to do with your children or lover. So children, lover, creative, and entrepreneurial projects have a bit of a Venusian surprise. Venus is the goddess of money in a money house, but one of the ways it could look is an unexpected expenditure that your child is requiring or that your lover is requiring, and it may be a bit of a surprise. If it's a positive thing, the opportunity to have some money come to you from fifth house places, again, your entrepreneurial, creative, and endeavors, giving you a surprising little paycheck or chunk of money. Mercury will also sextile Uranus at the same time Venus is squaring Uranus, and he does the sextile from the house of trips and travel. So there may be an unexpected opportunity for travel, skill-based education, and learning overlapping what Venus is up to at the same time. Maybe the expenditure is a trip and the cost of a trip that you didn't expect to pay for a child, for example. Just ways of particularly imagining what this could be. On March the 8th to the 10th, we have a busy sky. On March the 8th in particular, it's a vision boarding day. Get your dream journals, vision boards, dream your life into being in your third house. So what ideas do you have that you want to bring into truth? What creative writing projects may you be engaging that you want to deeper dive into? What kind of travel do you want to imagine into being? When Mercury and Neptune get together, it can be very much that whole, opportunity to enact the law of attraction, if it works at all. Then the sun will also sextile Uranus on the 9th and the 10th, when at the same time Mars is squaring Uranus. You can see Uranus is bringing us a lot of surprises this month because that's what he does. So, eek, I got some really weird light here. Let me see if I can fix it. I'm like, there's a blind on me and it's blinding me. All right. Yeah, that might help. I made a darker room, but at least still have it, right? Okay. So let me get rolling. I can't decide if I'm hot or cold in my office in Vancouver, Canada. Let's go back to you, Capricorn. And I want to talk next about this idea of Mars square Uranus. So why don't you go back and think about March 3rd when Venus squared Uranus. Now it's March the 9th, 10th, and Mars is following up. Uranus is in that house of the children, your fifth house, and your creative project, your entrepreneurship, all of that stuff I mentioned. And romantic life. And there's a square from Mars in your second house of money and earnings. So what could this sudden unexpected jolt in the financial department be? Connected to lovers, romance, children, but lottery wins are in your fifth house. And for both the March 3rd and maybe later on Mars 9th, 10th, there's something to do with winning money. Mars is the action guy, and the direction you need to take with something that may surprise you from something exciting and positive or expensive that may have happened on March the 3rd. So either which way. At the same time, Mars is squaring Uranus, we also see the sun sextiles Neptune. Now, where this is happening on the 9th and 10th is Neptune is been parking his bum slowly, glacially moving since 2011 through your third house of siblings. This is also things to do with your local neighborhood, your family of origin, cousins, extended family, cousins and stuff, or maybe just writing projects, travel opportunities, learning opportunities. Now, Neptune is sitting here and the sun will have moved into a position. Oh, did I say Neptune? I'm sorry. The sun will sextile Uranus, not Neptune. I apologize. Uranus is still in that fifth house. The sun is traveling through the third house where Neptune is. So some really positive, sweet opportunity that surprises you for a trip, right? The March 9th, 10th, for a journey somewhere, for like something good happening in your online world, social media website, some surprising career, maybe opportunity or financial opportunity coming to you from a sibling, cousin, or neighbor, or even a childhood friend. Then we move into March 16th to March the 8th. Oh, and on March the 10th, I almost forgot, we have a new moon. The new moon is seeding something brand new in Pisces, which is the part of your sky that is your travel house. And it also is everything I've said 100 times over. It's a fishbowl in which you swim. It's your daily activities. It's your daily routines as well. The third house is being reset by a new beginning in the 2 weeks that follow and 6 months that follow. See what it shows you. With Saturn here from March of 2023 to February 2026, these resets have importance to you. They're more invaluable and more important, this new moon, than most new moons, because of course, Lord Saturn is giving it weight and endurance and saying that these kinds of resets can go many, many years into your future. Indeed, 30 years. So what is this new beginning in the third house? You could change your neighborhood, especially if your floating IC is in the third house. Some of you may be moving. Same with those of you who have a floating IC in the fifth house in whole sign houses. These can indicate moves and surprises around moves, but sweet directions as well. Sun in the third, sextiling Uranus in the fifth can indicate positive travel opportunities or relocation opportunities coming for you. And again, connection to lovers, romantic partners, and children are possible. On the 16th to the 18th, the Sun and Neptune combine forces to become one. And as they do their Vulcan mind meld, this is your third house where Neptune's been since 2011 and does not depart till 2026. Every year, the Sun joins Neptune here. It's a very powerful spiritual energy. It can align you with greater purpose, but it also, in your case, connects to secrets, chunky money, tax rebates and stuff like that. It's a positive vibe on the 16th, the 18th. So if it's going to be about taxes, it could be quite sweet. You get more money back than you thought. It can also be a time in which some kind of dreamy dream come true money opportunity involving career will show up on your doorstep on the 16th to the 18th. Then on March the 21st to the 22nd, we have two things happening at the same time. We have the sun in a flow to Pluto called a sextile while Venus is conjunct Saturn. Let's start with the sun and Pluto. The Pluto story is Pluto is moving through your earnings house for 20 years, and it just started to really heat up this year in January 20th when Pluto entered your second house. And this sun is now in Aries on the 21st, right? The solar vernal equinox, the solar ingress chart. This kind of bakes in an interesting year for you because it almost says, and I'll be doing a whole equinox sky story for you guys in March. This kind of says that there's a lot of intensity coming through this April out a year for you to benefit financially through home, land, legacy wealth, property, real estate, inheritance. There's something to say along the lines of how are you going to be really successful financially through matters of fourth house considerations. And I say legacy wealth, I mean inheritances, okay? In particular, from family members from your family of origin. All family members, not just parents, maybe siblings, for example. At the same time, this is happening, Venus is sextiling Saturn, which is love is hard and money is, love is hard, love is enduring, money is dutiful and responsible, and I persevere to be wealthy, but it's a lot of hard work. These are kinds of Venus-Saturn kinds of general themes, right? Venus-Saturn co-joining together here in the sky, of course, is where Saturn sits since last year and will stay till 26, which is your third house. Well, love is hard. If it's love is hard because of a sibling that's hard to love, and you're really focused on that. Sibling love is hard energy on the 21st, 22nd. Maybe a childhood friend is hard to love. Maybe it's about endurance and dedication and focus to an online writing project, a writing project, online website. It could be some endurance fortification of money you wish to create through learning or teaching structures. But you're going to feel it's a bit gritty, but it's worth the reward. I think to me, the Venus-Saturn is like we want to become one, and they like each other in ancient astrology in the sense that Saturn is exalted in Venus's Libra house. So we can feel that they like to work together to create some sustainable, lasting, enduring results regarding travel, trips, siblings, childhood friends, neighbors and neighborhoods, and enduring and loving and lasting energies. Again, a money opportunity to bring a lot of legacy or long-term money into your life through travel may be emerging for you. And it may feel like a difficult journey because maybe you don't want to travel at the time, but it's worth it. March 21st and 22nd. On March the 24th and 25th, a beautiful thing happens in the sky. Venus and Jupiter flow together in a sextile in a mutual reception because Venus is in the sign that belongs to Jupiter, which is Pisces, her exaltation, and Jupiter is in her sign of Taurus, hanging out there with Uranus. So track this with me. Exciting, positive, prosperous developments unfolding here, March 21st and 25th, between lottery wins, Jupiter's in the fifth house, children, lovers, entrepreneurial, independent business enterprise, creative artistic projects, and the online world, social media land, short trips and travel, siblings. So let's see what happens because it comes back again on the 28th when Venus sextiles Uranus. Remember, she squared Uranus March 3rd? Well, here she is flowing to the god of surprises in your lottery house. If you're going to win a lottery, it could be any time between the March the 23rd and the 29th, given that Venus is first loving up Jupiter and then the god of luck and opportunity in a money luck house. And then she hits the jackpot of a big surprise on the 28th, where you may indeed win money through gambling or speculation. But if it's not that, you may have some kind of surprise in love and romance, bounty and prosperity in love and romance, a surprise getaway trip or something, March 28th, a surprise from a sibling that benefits you in the money luck zone. So much goodness going on at the end of the month. I can't wait to see what happens. Please comment in the comments. I read all my comments. Let me know what happened for you when that happened. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now we're almost done. I want to remind you that I'm recording on February the 6th. 19th for my Patreon community who gets this early access ad-free. If getting content early access ad-free is at all interesting to you, for mere $5 a month plus a Zoom call with me, my ethical bribe is try my community out on Patreon. For that mere $5 investment I'm giving you, or anyone who joins at any tier, the Synastry, Are You My Person relationship course and the Chiron Key to Purpose course both have been taught. Both are about 90 minutes, and you get those replays for no cost, value $66 just for trying me out. I'm trying to bring people to my more intimate community where I can teach, where I get to know you. Another perk of being on my Patreon community is you get access to readings with me before the general public or even my former clients. Problem with me is I have a wait list of about 2,000 people for readings, and I don't have time or energy to do everybody. So these are entry points to my business, is by getting on those communities where you have a more chance of getting a booking for a session with me. Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope that was useful, Capricorn. Please enjoy the month ahead.